I'm doing, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, Lord.
All right, anyone would like to view before we get started? I know some of you all may have to leave before the end of the service, so this is your time before we close the casting. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
What? Peace and love, everyone.
Peace and love.
I'm gonna sit here.
I know somebody know this song right here. I know somebody know this song. That's what I'm talking about right there. By round of applause, who's glad that they met this beautiful young lady, Consuelo Elena Jones, Miss Conception? I see activists that's in the house. I see poets that are in the house. I see family members and friends that are in the house. And people are watching all over the world right now. I'm going to move this a little bit out the way. But people in Ghana, people in Kenya, people in the UK, people in Canada, they all sent words of comfort and condolences for our sister who touched so many people's lives all over the world. Y'all just stand up right now and give my sister a standing ovation, please. We want to first of all give acknowledgement to her family that's here and that's in the house, her dad along with her aunts and uncles and sisters and brothers and cousins. I'm going to ask all of the family to please stand right now, please. We just want to acknowledge you and say thank you. Please stand. All right. You may be seated. I'm going to ask all those from the poetry community that's in the house and family, I just want you to turn around and look at the overwhelming love of support that she received from the poetry and hip-hop community also as well. Could you please stand right now, please? And the activists that are in the house. Jedediah, we see you guys. We see you. That's right. That's right. So we want to make sure that we give you words of encouragement today, because whenever we're at this point, the person's life who we're here to celebrate has ran their race, and they've done their job, and they've completed the mission. And so these moments are more for those of us who are here, who still have a little bit running to do, who still have a little bit more work that we need to complete, to inspire you, to make sure you do what you can to get it right with God while you are here. Because when we are at this point, there's nothing else that you can do, but we still have time. How many people have a Facebook app on their phone by round of applause, and the Instagram app on their phone? Come on, y'all. I got one. A Twitter app on their phone. Well, the same people who clapped and said that they had an Instagram app, a Facebook app, a Twitter app, you should also have a Bible app on your phone also as well, because we're going to talk about the Word today and what the Word says. We're going to read a scripture, Psalms 27 and 1. Psalms 27 and 1. So for those who have your Bible apps, pull them out now. And pull up Psalms 27 and 1. And it says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?" That includes death. "The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?" Brothers and sisters, when you have understanding of God's plan for man, even this you will understand is not the end, but death is nothing option of everlasting life. You think God gonna put this on the table without having a plan B? We're going to talk about that a little bit more in our program, but we're going to bring up our sister who's here to do a beautiful solo, a wonderful sister who's also a vocalist and in the poetry community. She goes by the name of BLAQ. At this time, I would like all of you all to receive her. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm blessed and I'm honored to be here at, to me, Misconceptions Homegoing celebration. When I was trying to figure out what to sing for her, she gave it to me. So I love you. Pray for me, and I'm here to give it to you. Something that
salute my ancestors. Proudly, I sit at your feet. As I strive to carry on our rich legacy, traveling across the diaspora was no match for your strength. After being stolen from rich dynasties where as kings and queens you once reigned, I give homage to the battles fought and victories won. After being forced away from lands of our native tongue, stolen from a culture and a land rich with nature, and nurtured, to be devalued and branded in every way, you were tortured. I give recognition to the chants that were sung in the forest, to maintain hope for survival and trying to stay blessed, having only candlelight made from wax, created from the fat of scraps that were offered. Food given last like scavengers. This light was used to guide the way and hope that spiritual songs and petitions of optimism. You held hope that there would one day be a difference. Appreciatively, I've been left with stories of life lessons to be a blessing, whether it's healing through poetry and motion or passed down through herbal tinctures to making healing herbal potions. Creatively and metaphorically, I can display emotions, or maybe just the curious, or the courage to even ask, face, and answer questions. I've been charged with an energy that endlessly lives to walk in your footsteps. Knowledge frees self. If we acknowledge the tradition we're from, we can vastly improve our wealth. We are sons and daughters of the dust, kissed with melanin, and God, our Creator's love. I am the daughter of traditional African spiritual energies, having been traveled through the oceans of Yemenia, the rivers of Oshun, with the permissions of BLAQ. Holding the keys in and out of all things, I am the depths of Olokun, honed in on my ability to hunt like Ochosi and the iron strength of the warrior Ogun, and demanding the justice of Shango, with the dual energy of the 20 Beji and the craftiness of the Iyami, entering the territories with the ever-changing winds of Oya, symbolizing that we must sometimes let go of what's old to begin anew. But lest we not forget, for this legacy I will carry the load. Like my ancestors with strength in my back, I will share my history, staying true to my chosen path. I will free myself of the declared bondage as I pay homage, having a bloodline of inventors, innovators, and in our own right, being highly creative. The power that exudes from my pen is the limitless expression that's my genetic gift. I'll sit back while you take my reflection and my historical oxygen, coming from trades, barters, and historical survivors. I give thanks. Modukwe and Ashe.
That was the misconception that we knew, y'all. Y'all didn't know. Y'all know now. I want to bring up one of our poet sisters to read the acknowledgments. Donis Overton, Black Beauty, just so that you can see how much her reach and her love was. You can start making your way up now, sis. Come on, y'all give a nice round of applause. Just so that you could see the reach and the love that she had across communities, across other organizations, and across the world. Acknowledgements, Black Beauty.
Misconception inspired many lives with her words, not only here in Chicago, but all over the world. Terry Poet Johnson, representing Poet Canada and First People of Mascot, Alberta, Canada. I would like to express my sincere condolences to Misconception and the family. I remember speaking briefly with her, and although I've never met her personally, she was a very beautiful, loving soul, and her presence will be extremely missed. Rest well, my beautiful poet sister. Mahogany Brown of Poet Huntsville, Alabama. I had the amazing honor and privilege to work alongside Misconception on Poet Radio. I was afforded the opportunity to meet her face-to-face at the National Poetry Awards. I can truly say the queen she presented across the airways was the same face to face. Her legacy in poetry will continue to live. She will be greatly missed. Miss Rebecca Sheraton, poet of the UK chapter. Although I never met Miss Conception personally, and we could feel the effects of her words across the pond here in the UK, I had the respect for her poetry and know that she was very highly regarded and will very much be missed. The Wildflower, Poet Radio of the Oklahoma chapter. The Oklahoma poetry community would like to send our love and prayers for the family and loved ones of Miss Conception. She will be remembered by us as a dynamic poet, a great mentor, and a phenomenal woman. She was the embodiment of what the poetry community and the world needs today. For me personally, I thought she was an awesome talent and most importantly, a good person. I consider her my friend. She called me sis from day one. That meant a lot to me. The encouragement that she gave me was invaluable. I will miss her tremendously. But she is immortal now. Her memory will live on as long as the sun rises and sets. When we need her, pick up her book. Her life was in her poetry. When we miss that stunning voice, push play on one of her videos and watch the greatness through poetry and motion. The Oklahoma poetry community will miss you. I miss you. That's easy, sis. See you on the other side. Laurie Edwards, representing Poet New York. Miss Conception was very dear to me, a pure lover of many talents and very talented and awesome herself. She made all feel warm in her presence, whether physically or long distance. Miss her dearly. Hood Rays of the Aggies chapter. Even in physical absence, your voice resonates. A true queen with a cause. I'll continue to smile at the thought of your message, your passion, your dedication to change those and all of those amazing freckles you are. You are truly Miss Polka Dot. Momentum of 3 p.m. Every single time me and her crossed paths, it was genuine love. Her pleasant spirit was always welcoming. She will truly be missed and will live on through family and friends of those lives she touched. On behalf of 3 p.m. family and myself, we send our love, condolences, and prayers for strength, comfort, and peace. We love you, Miss Conception. The Oracle, representing Poet, California. Miss Conception embraced my spirit and enriched my soul. She spoke truth. The Oracle will always remember to love you and yourself. Excuse me. Word Warrior, representing Well-Spoken Live. She was an awesome friend, poet, and had a beautiful spirit. Very unique, and I will miss her dearly. Ren, representing Go Boys Entertainment. Raw Radio, Miss Conception was the coolest of the cool. Never scared to speak her mind and stood on what was fair. Although knowing herself for a short period of time, she inspired me and was well loved by the respect of the Go Boys Entertainment. Family. She always wanted to hear her famous poem, 16 Shots, on the radio, and I will be sure to make that happen. Gone too soon, but our friendship will be remembered forever. Keep It Smooth, president of Solus Minds out of Kankakee, Illinois. Miss Conception was a friend, mentor, colleague, and among many other things. She was passionate, articulate, down to earth, and an angel in disguise. We worked together, traveled together, performed together, and all of those memories will forever be cherished, gone but never forgotten. Jorge Hernandez, radio and TV personality. Miss Conception was a powerful woman with incredible energy and everywhere she went. Not only was that contagious energy creating synergy, but she was also there as a friend to listen to you and provide advice and support. I'm grateful to have met her and to have been in her presence. Changes, represented the poet community in Kenya, Africa. During this time, the people of Africa, Kenya, stand in unity with the poet family and the family of Miss Conception. Much regard, and we will miss her poetry so much. Thank you.
In my daily struggles, I do know
We're going to keep our program going on. Did you guys know that Miss Conception was a published author? Did you know that? How many people knew that? A round of applause. That Miss Conception, Connie Consuela Jones, Elena Jones, was a published author. So this is a book. And some of the poets that you heard write about her across the world, some of them are in this book also as well. So when they are exposing their book in the UK and in Kenya and in other places of the world, they're getting exposed to the writings of Miss Conception also as well. So to recite one of her poems that's written in this book right now on your program, the poem is called I Am, and it's going to be recited by our sister from our Wisconsin chapter. Please put your hands together for Kenyatta.
Y'all make some more noise for this girl, because if you could still I kind of felt homeless when I came here to Chicago, even though I'm from the city. I felt homeless because for the past 3.5 years of my entertainment, I mean, who gonna pay for hotel rooms every day? Not me, I can't afford it. So she used to house me for 3 years. So when I came to Chicago, I was like, I ain't got nowhere to go. I ain't got nobody to talk to no more. So when I talked to my president and he asked me to read this piece on her behalf, I remember when we were talking about it, and I'm like, man, you gotta say it a certain kind of way. And, you know, so I had the opportunity to kind of break down her words last night. This is a strong sister, man. Now, like, I can hear, you know, people do their poetry, but to actually sit down and read it and put it in your words and embrace everything, that's real strong, you know what I'm saying? I mean, especially when you respect the artist, period. This girl was the truth, man. Like, real life, she was the definition of a friend to me. And, you know, me and her, I have to say this, kind of like misunderstood people. People that go through certain things and they kind of attach different behaviorisms, so people really don't understand. But because we shared that, we kind of instantly drew to each other. You know, the outcast kind of people, the people that think that you're too rowdy or you're too loud or you might overly opinionated. You know, we kind of drive to each other. We say things with the F word in front of them like we finna do it, we gonna do it anyway. Because it was that strength. And I always say it to her, iron sharpens iron. So I am the walk of a queen that can and will survive the streets. I am an infinite student of wisdom. It exudes from me. I am the mother of life through the words I speak. I am. I am the image of truth, and I am destiny. I am the positive energy that is my blood flow and heartbeat. I am the ancestral rhythm that guides my feet. I am alliteration and metaphors through expression. I flow free. I am the expectation to some, but much more than what you see. No closed chapters, opening, shading, empowering philosophy. I am the child actress that used the best skill set to be set free, because performing allowed me to master truth as it sometimes and oftentimes happened to me. I was able to hide the innocence stolen from me, and I use it to protect my future, my legacy. Some turned into look into life as misery, but I give light to life, and I end life with misery, showing to the world the only best of me, giving honor and homage to my ancestry, giving praise to those who walked before we. I am the lyrics that hip-hop influenced and the tribal lessons of whom I am a descendant. One of few queen soldiers in concrete jungle and passing of life lessons, mandatory that each one reach one. And when we live, it's that the true blessing, hiding the keys and all things that raise in the mother energy. I can nurture all beings. I am the Creole combo of spice, reminding you of the vigor of your life. I am the fire tender, native child that has been forced in, twice became a wife. I am the leader amongst leaders, the seer with the third eyesight. I am victorious in all challenges. I am the fight. I am the ceiba tree that is the strength for my roots. I am the image of survival, having more the most unique and rare, strange but great fruit, who past is truth. This is just a sample of the misconception you usually see. I am multi-layered like a woven cloak of messages surviving cold as warmth through me.
You try to run away from life's challenges and face the changes and
This sister was so talented and so gifted. And oftentimes when people are that talented and that gifted, they're viewed as strange or they're viewed as different. But this sister, I stood on stage next to her. We on tour. And she just started freestyling. Just coming off the top of her head with lyrics. And I'm like, okay, all right, go ahead, do your thing. It was a hard job coming after her, having to stick my piece after her because I knew that she was going to come hard. One of the things that I imposed upon her was to express yourself when you're spitting your poetry or when you're reciting your poetry. And she would always ask me after she performed, how was that and how did I do? She was always concerned about what I felt and what I thought about her performance. And I would always be hard on her, and I would always say, well, there's something more that you do. And she would look at me and say, okay, all right, cool. Well, next time I'm going to show you something different. So the last time we shared the stage was in Kankakee, Illinois, and we both were paired up. It was each organization paired up. There were two people from each group or each organization paired up, and her and I represented Poet. And when we were done with that performance, we got a standing ovation in Kankakee, Illinois. It was just a beautiful sight to see. I would like to bring one of her sisters, and when I say sisters, not her biological sister, but this sister became her sister. They actually lived together for the past couple of years. And when you live with someone, you get to know them, you get to know their ways, you get to know their concerns, their hurts, their pains. And there were probably none more closer to that sister at the time as far as physical and as far as every day seeing her and what she had to go through and what she had to struggle as far as health challenges were concerned. I would like to bring up at this time her sister, not only in rhyme, but her sister also as well outside of poetry. Please help me welcome Kylie Analog Soul Brown for the reading of the obituary.
Thank you, BLAQ. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Before I start, I'd just like to say that I feel like the luckiest person in the world. See, I met her as a fan. I was afraid to talk to her the first time I met her, so I kind of ducked and dodged her around the club. And then when I saw her again for the second time, I couldn't pass up the chance, the opportunity. I began to talk to her, and we found some things in common, and we've pretty much been together every day since then. I was there when she left this world. She left it with energy. She left it fighting. She did not give up, just so you know. Consuela Elena Jones was born in Chicago, Illinois on September 21st, 1974, to Pamela Feeney and Michael Griffin. In her youth, she attended Emmanuel Christian School after transferring later to Claire Barton Elementary. As a child, she was naturally shy, with a deep love and compassion for her people and the community of Inglewood, where she was raised by her mother and grandmother. She began her high school career at Chicago Vocational, graduating from Calumet High School in 1992, and during the mid-'80s, she developed a deep love for all kinds of music
with special affection for hip-hop. During these years of discovery into the arts, it was encouraged by her mother, and she discovered her gift as a writer and a poet. This would serve as the launching pad for a brilliant spoken word career. Okay, I have a sidebar. So she once told me that she was bored at home. She didn't have anything to do. There was nothing on TV. She couldn't go outside. She didn't want to do anything. And so she told her mother she was bored. And her mother said, well, read a book. So she said, I've read all the books in the house. So her mother gave her a notebook and a pen. She said, all right now. One of her greatest accomplishments was the birth of her son, Clifton Jones, on March 9, 1988.
I'm on your back.
Connie was always concerned with making sure her son had the best opportunities while educating him on the importance of community involvement. 11 years later, she would lose her mother, her primary support system. She remained strong even after the death of her grandmother 1 year later. But she embraced her role as the head of the branch of her family while continuing to stay true to her art. Connie was an extreme intellect, which she used to help those close to her. Some of her many accomplishments included being a natural health and hair care practitioner. She was a lockologist that proudly wore her own crown of crimson locks. That's right. She was a member of the Order of Eastern Star, as well as a key officer in the Chi-Town Lumina Car Club. She performed numerous acts of charity with both of these groups. In 2013, she reconnected with childhood friend turned mentor, DeAndre Black Ice Hawthorne, CEO and founder of POET, People of Extraordinary Talent. He would go on to give her the stage name that would reflect a variation of her name, Connie, combined with her ability to create new concepts and ideas. And in 2014, she was introduced to the world as the spoken word powerhouse, Misconception. She emerged not as a newcomer, but an artist with a professionally honed craft. And since her emergence, she became a radio personality, 2015 National Poetry Award-winning Poet of the Year. Heir to the throne, Princess of Poetry, a published author, and ghostwriter, all while protesting with a shaking fist as an actor. Connie transitioned October 21st, 2016. She leaves a legacy of spoken word CDs, written works in the Poet Anthology 4, and videos. Left to cherish her memory are her son, Clifton Jones, 6 beautiful grandchildren, Renee, Denora, Brenaya, Corjay, Clifton Jr., and Carmel. Her siblings, Michael Jr., Romero, Melanie, Leah, Lori, J.R. Father, Michael Griffin, Tanya. She also leaves aunts, uncles, cousins, extended relatives, close friends, and loyal fans. Connie is preceded in death by her mother and grandmother. Now, if we start, I could never get through a piece right now. But we would joke, and I just wanted to give her this little bit back. Sister, you've been on my mind. Sister, we're two of a
Ladies and gentlemen, now we will have a praise dance by one of our sisters, Ascension Divine.
Come on, Queen.
All right, Tiara.
Let's get it.
Ascension Divine, we will come back. Let's bring up our sister Loretta Hawkins while we work this out together. Please give it up for Loretta Hawkins, please. Who's going to do a special
Good afternoon. Giving thanks to God Almighty, creator of all that exists. Offering my deepest and most sincere condolences to the family of Connie Jones. I have written a poem for Connie, and it's entitled Misconceptions.
Come on.
There is a grave misconception about what happened that Friday night. So I went to Connie's poem, I Am, to illustrate that perhaps I am right. Some people seem to think she's gone. They think she's passed away. But reading her poem, I Am, made me think about it a different way. She said, I am the image of truth, and I am destiny. But truth and destiny never die. They can always only be. She said, I am the expectation of some, but much more than you see. We saw a woman shrouded in beauty, but she was more than that, you see. She said, I am the actress, which allowed me to mask truth, as it sometimes happened to me. And the misconception that she is gone is one of those masks, don't you see? She said, I am the mother energy. And because energy is cosmic, it will always ever be. She called herself misconception. And I think I understand why. Cosmic energy always exists in the universe and never can it die. She said, I am the fire tender, the seer with third eye sight. I am victorious. In all challenges, I am the fight. So how can she be truly gone? While the fire still brightly burns, the victory still is living, and the fight still struggles on. It's a grave misconception to think that she is gone, for it is only the flesh that dies. Strong spirits always live on.
That's right.
She said, I am the writer of what has been written. She spoke of her pain and how tragedy had bitten. Yet she triumphed in saying she is a survivor of having no wings, having flown, but learned that her parchment and her ink were her home. I find comfort in knowing she found refuge in a thing with which I relate, for she is an extraordinary poet. There is no doubt nor debate. There are realities on earth that are false or are true. But it's no misconception, Connie, that friends and family love you.
That's right.
It is no misconception that we poets and poet adore you. It is no misconception that you will be missed for each word that we write. Know that you have been kissed. We called her Misconception. And reading her poem, I understand why. She was a misconception, but she could not die. So peace to you, Connie. And although we cry, when we see birds in flight in God's azure blue sky, we'll know that you live and that you did not die. It's a cliche to say life changes in the twinkling of an eye. But it's hard for us who love you to simply not cry. But in our humble obedience, we do not question God why, but thank him for allowing your beautiful spirit to pass by.
That's right.
Go. After you've done all you can, there's nobody else to tell your problems to. Nobody else seems to be able to help you. Hey, after you've gone through the storms, yeah. After you've gone through the rain, after you've endured all the hurt, after you've gone through the pain, after you've done all you can, you just stand.
That's right.
How many people are feeling inspired right now? How many people are feeling encouraged right now? We're not here to mourn the dead. We're here to celebrate the life of Connie Jones. We're here to celebrate life, and this is how she would have wanted it. These are the things that she wrote out and sent an email 2 years ago, that this is how she wanted her services to be. And so we're at the time of 2-minute remarks. We're at the time of 2-minute remarks. The funeral director is telling us to condense it, please. So I know we feeling a lot of love, and we feeling a lot of passion, and we feeling a lot of hurt and pain. But we're going to ask that we keep these comments down to a minimum. For those who are here, I know that you told her that you loved her while she was here and while she was alive. So we're just reiterating that here at this particular service. So if we can get about 5 people. Can we get about 5 people? Can we get about 5 people? Just stand over this way right here, just 5 people. Can we get about 5? I knew I wasn't going to get 5 people. But I said 5, hoping that I could get at least 10. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go ahead and let everyone come up here. And again, some of you all have poems, songs, or whatever. Just don't do the whole song and do the whole poem. Just do, a version of it. So come on, make your way up here now.
Peace and love. My sister Connie, she's not my biological sister, but this is my god sister. We spend a lot of time talking, and just our mother force she instilled a lot in me, and I know for a fact that she would want me to sing. So I want to sing this song for my sister. Sooner will be done with the trouble of this world. Trouble of the world. Trouble, Lord, of this world. How soon will be done with the trouble of this world? I'm going home to live with God.
Sing it, Cola.
I want to see my mother. I want to see my mother. I want to see my mother. I'm going home to live with my Lord. No more
silent. While others in denial stay in their presidential and governmental homes, and they don't even go to the one to look out. Oblivious to any of the events that go on in the streets before and until we stand on their front lawn and protest, or until their legislators is their house. From the ceiling of every South to ring out 16 seems like it's one each year of our young that fall with loved ones and moms twice scream to what seems like a just political ear. How many times do we have to say we need rescue? How much do we have to answer to that toll of the murders that fall on the young and unknown? See, there are broken pillars being cut off before they get grown. Most of them, whether you know it or not, don't even picture a junior or senior prom. They don't even know the story at home, from a short run to the corner store. Living life in concrete jungles riddled with bullets, where the meters on high, measuring a voltage to the cord, to its power. I'm ready to pull it. And conquer the rage and fuel the beast. I'm ready to infuse life in this. 16 shots no longer have to continue ringing out, again and again ringing out, and your lives that are our future. Slowly but surely, again and again, they're fading and being treated like a bad production of these movies, and they're being taken back out. 16 shots can be opportunities and success, coming together, wedding celebrations, graduations, and together our voices shall harmonize. That's how we rise. As a poet, I can't just let my pen speak. Yeah, you'll find me on 79th and Cottage Grove, up and down forbidden land. No longer have to continue ringing out. We don't have to use the young lives in our future to stand as mannequins, to be taken out. 16 shots. 16 shots. I'm so tired of crying at our children's funerals. No more baby, no more blacking out. Will you join me? I'm so tired of them calling us Chirac. No more Chirac. We're taking Chirac. No more Chirac.
We're taking shot back. 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 We're taking shot back.
Damn them 16 shots our babies got. Yes, right.
Welcome our labor.